First thesis. We live as we think. The events that evolve around us are dependent upon our life principles. I am affirming that a human being has the right to life, health, and happiness only when he is directed towards spiritualness. Humanity in today's world is located at a level of a blind kitten who was born and lives on some physical level, but doesn't know where to go. However, it must be said, we don't have any spiritual drivers in the world. After Christ, such happenings never took place. In order to be happy, nevertheless, you must have a spiritual directionality. And what is that exactly? That is, for example, movement in any such direction. If you go this way, then you'll have happiness, health, and prosperity. If you go the other way, you'll lose your family, your wife. And if you take the third way, you lose material well-being. That is, you won't have any wealth. If you go by the way of the fourth side, you lose your constitution. All the time, life is beating us over the head and telling us, you're not going there. You need to go there. Why did you run after all those material things for? You need to go there. And in this way, sooner or later, we instinctually get oriented in this manner, and we begin to move in the right direction. Go there. And when we do this, then everything falls into place. Health, wealth, and family fortune. And then you end up on the correct path, and you begin to live well. On a level of consciousness, this doesn't exist. We're arriving at this point by rule of thumb, by method of trial and error, by method of suffering, a fundamental principle of existence on the earth. It is the principle of suffering. The circumstances are stacked up in a way that sooner or later you're forced to reflect, and through intense experiences, nevertheless, you begin to equalize and go there. Russia is a country that is suffering very much. If you take into account recent history, that's the First World War, and then a Second World War. And once again, a situation is rising, where around the country, the storm clouds have thickened. And once again, Russia is being pounded upon. If one could draw a parallel with the human nature as we think, so do we live. In the national scale that principles work, we are not moving toward that. We're preoccupied with what is material things. We're busy with immediate family. We're taking care of our health, but in order for the country to flourish once more, we need to move towards spiritualness. If in the scope of states there is no such idea, then we will constantly be hit from all sides. The task for Russia is large and global, and in order to complete the task, it needs to move there.